Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Hey,
How are
Elle. How you doing, you
you?
menace?
Good. How are you? You know what? I don't even know how to say my name because everybody calls me Ellie B.
Oh, I know your name, darling. You know that.
Yes. And that's something else. I cover. I
We've
cover
got some
Amber.
history, honey.
Yes, we do. I cover
Good
Amber.
to see you guys.
I've covered Amber for
Ooh, darling.
5 or 6 years.
Probably.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
What is this? Is this the anniversary of the 5 or 6 years right now? In July.
Oh,
No.
I know, right?
On here to
Yeah,
help kind of
exactly. You didn't
clear
get what I
some
was
stuff
saying?
up.
Yeah, exactly,
Now I
right?
know. Now I know.
Yeah. No, no. See, look, after all this time, I we can just talk now and look at each other, which is crazy
Yep.
because it
I
doesn't
mean, I've
matter.
talked to you like in messages before too. Even like
Yeah.
back when all of that happened, like even though I cover you and like when I cover you, if you do something I
Right.
don't like, I say that. I will be like, I don't like that. I mean, I have said some things when I disagree with things. But I have never like when you're on here, I've had you on my channel before and I've never
Yeah, I came on. Yeah, it's true.
whenever your
It was really,
fiance
by the way, at that time was super sweet of you, honestly.
yeah.
That was crazy, and that was a crazy moment. I remember that. That was what, a year ago? A little over, just a little over a year ago.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know about this. We
Yeah.
weren't friends a year ago.
No, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Amber
So
was last.
when Amber said
Guys,
something,
okay, can I just say this real quick, Elle? Because I see somebody saying, ask Amber when she last seen her kids in person.
yeah.
Honey, I see a certain child in person a lot, and the other one I wish I could. So let's not do that, darling. But anyways, Elle, people change. I'm 35 now, guys. Let's chill. Hi, Amber. Hi, sweetie.
I'm older.
Anyways, Elle, take over. It's your platform.
Well, I was gonna say, whenever the whole situation happened with your fiance,
Yeah.
there were people saying some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was live on YouTube and you came across it and
Yes.
you
Yeah.
jumped on and you were like, this is serious.
You were talking about like everything, and people were asking like questions. And there, I saw a couple, of the ones that bothered me about if
Yeah,
I had done something, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, when you brought me up, well, first you didn't believe if it was me or not
No,
because of past stuff, which is okay. I mean, whatever.
yeah.
But, it's just kind of funny though how I was scrolling through, right? And Elle, I don't really see you a lot. But when I do, sometimes I like your stuff if
Mhm.
you're not too, you're sassy like me. Let's just say that, and that's
I'm
why
very
we just go,
opinionated, which is why I do
yeah,
what I do because I have opinions.
exactly.
Mhm.
So this is why me and you, it's we just do, and we're just good.
Yeah,
But anyways, we got the history. Everybody knows about it. Love y'all. It's all good. But Elle, honestly, like it's crazy that like I'm on here from a year later, right after all of that stuff. And I just saw you through my FYP. And I haven't seen you on my FYP in I don't know how long. So I was
yeah,
like, I need to click on this because this is kind of weird.
yeah,
Right? It's a
yeah.
little
That's
weird.
wild. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And then oh, it's beautiful.
Thank
Like that's one of
you.
my favorites because of the emerald on it.
I
That's
don't know
Um,
anything about TikTok.
I don't even know
Pretty
how
things.
much
I'm
is
just
it.
here. I'm just here.
I know barely anything at all. I just let my people do what they do. I really do. Bruh, oh my God, what? You're alive.
Have you heard anything about the
Oh,
show actually being canceled?
I've heard yes.
Do you,
I know what I
it
know.
has been canceled?
I can't say anything about anything, darling.
Okay, because I'll tell you what I heard. I heard that
Oh, tell
Paramount.
me what you heard, babes.
Okay, I heard that Paramount was selling. They were selling the network that the show is played on, but they're in the middle of a lawsuit right now, so they can't. With Donald Trump, Trump is suing Paramount, and that the network was going to be sold, but then this lawsuit came about, so they can't sell until the lawsuit is complete. Now, this is what Caitlyn said on her live, like Caitlyn and Tyler. But Trump is suing.
Bree, listen, that's happening, yes, but listen. It was canceled when I said it was. When I quit months ago, honey, it was gone. We know this. It was canceled the last time I did it. Let's stop, everybody. Come on, Elle. If you're gonna tell the truth, baby, tell the truth.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
That's why I don't
I'm
know.
a tell,
She'll
but
tell
babe,
the truth.
if I
don't
say
have a
something, girl,
problem.
listen. You know that's the damn truth. If
Well,
I
I
say
don't
something
have a
gets
problem.
canceled, baby girl, it's canceled. If I'm trying to let the youngins know that we're brought in, right? Hey, this is what's happening, and they don't even know what the hell's going on. Nobody's even speaking to them. None of the higher ups, because they're not friends with them. Well, I am, because I've been on for such a long time, so there's seniority there. I get to know certain things. So I've been trying to kind of say this, and I was trying to tell Ashley that day. I'm sure you obviously know about that.
Yes, I
And
know all
they
about
would
it.
not listen. They don't
Exactly.
listen. They do not listen. But you can't speak to somebody who has been doing this for 17 years, was the pilot, literally left because of knowing about all of this stuff and what they were doing in order, because they were holding on for dear life. And then they start using our children to hold on for more. I am happy that it's gone, but I'm also blessed to be on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've also exactly. And all the things that I did go through, even from the 5 years ago when that went down, saying, me and Andrew, we're beautiful. Me and my son, gorgeous. Me and my daughter, look at this, right? Now come on. I've been this way because I've had to keep a lot of secrets. And when you keep a lot of secrets and you know too much, it's ridiculous. I knew it was canceled before. It was for months, darling. I knew 3 months ago.
Are you like bound by like an NDA to not say secrets or?
So I am bound in certain things. I am completely not, oh my God, Delulu. No, baby, this is fact. This is what Elle said.
Wait, what did I say?
Yeah, about it getting canceled and all that
That's what I
stuff.
was asking if you had any.
Yeah, no, I'm not delusional, y'all. It was canceled it was canceled before that, y'all.
I
feel like I'm so out of the loop.
Was because Caitlin was asked about it when she was live a couple of weeks ago. Or maybe it was like a month and a half or so ago. Caitlin and Tyler were. And she was like, we go through this sometimes, like it sells, Viacom used to own it, this company owned it. And
What? What
yeah,
is, listen. It's so simple.
It's been sold several times.
It's true, but we have done 17 years of us being sold off multiple times.
Right, yes.
When VH1 came into MTV and took over for all of the entertainment, you obviously have that knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It kind of, everything went downhill. Now that's when I saw the desperation. They wanted me to be the biggest villain in the world, right? They wanted to show nothing but, horrible.
Was this like something they talked to you about, or you just feel like they just put the worst things up of you?
Oh God, girl. I mean, when I go on TikTok now live and I talk to my people and I just let them know like I love them, I'm always in a steady mood. But unless somebody comes at me, obviously, like Ashley did. But
Who's Ashley?
Ashley, she's
from the show.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I have not watched
right.
Teen Mom since like season 3.
Right, honey, neither have
I was friends with Macy, and I was really good friends with Ryan, and I'm friends with Mackenzie, so that's why I'm on here right now.
Yeah.
She was friends with Macy and Ryan from OG.
Okay. Well, okay. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. But yeah, I had known this, which is why I wanted to leave before everything kind of went down. And I also saw the plan that they had. I was told by my friend, and I was ready to go. And that's what happened. So I'm happy you're actually saying this because that is true. What you're bringing up, but I did know, yes, a couple months before, and it had nothing to do actually at that time with Trump or anything of that nature. In fact, that's actually the first time I've heard of that, which is why I'm kind of like thinking I don't look up the show, obviously. I mean, it'd be kind of weird if I did. But that's all I can really say, honey, is that I thought months before, I didn't think I was told, and then I thought, okay, this is really going down. But I had already given my resignation to them, but they still, to this day, have not sent me my contract. They still have not for me to leave,
So
which is, I don't understand it.
I have a question about the contract because I've heard you say that several times. Like, send me my contract. Send me my contract. Is it so you can like know for sure what's in it, so you know what you can do forward? Or
No. I know my contract like the back of my hand, darling. But the thing is, I need the contract to my people, to my agency, so we can disconnect from them in a civil way through my lawyer, right?
yeah.
But so my agency is Gersh, and they have to be the ones to completely disconnect us. So I don't understand why I haven't got my contract back after, well, now hearing this, honestly, and already knowing what I knew before. So really, I don't know what they're trying to do other than what I was told about our kids, which is another reason why I left as well, because they tried to use Leah as the forefront. I think that was probably obvious. Even at the reunion, they really did that. And Leah's just a beautiful, very,
She's so pretty.
you know,
Smart.
absolutely. She's good with speaking. She's intelligent. You know, all those things. So of course they're going to push her to the forefront. Do I want my daughter to be on a show? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think that it would be healthy for her or any of the other kids to be on that show. Absolutely not. So I had to leave. I want a normal life. And I think that what's happening right now is karma, you know, if we can use that word, I guess, in a business sense, not really. But it's going to happen. Things happen if you mess around with people too much. And it all started right when I was like, peace.
Do you think it's karma for like the network? Like now you're in the show?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the things that we went through for all those years being young, and it was torture in a sense at some points. This is the truth, you guys. It's crazy. You're saying losing 2 kids. That was torture. If you could think of what torture is in life, think of losing like your kids. That's like probably one of the biggest things you could ever think of. I do believe that my actions, just like my family has said to me, would have been different, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But there's no what ifs, what if, that, and the other. But I don't want my daughter to go through that. So what I'm afraid of is this going down, but another thing coming out, but with our children.
So you wouldn't want the show to make like a spinoff featuring with the kids?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I would go against it 100%. 100% I would go against it.
I agree. I don't even like if my kids come in my office, I mute my mic. I don't. The internet.
Oh, you got shaky. You got a little shaky about.
Oh, thank you. They sent it to you, Amber.
That's one of my favorites. Little shake in the butt.
Attorney for Justice sent you a corgi. So,
thank you, babe.
I'm very me being on the internet. The little bit that I'm on the internet, I see like how horrible the internet can be. How many people are. And that's why I don't my kids come in the office. I'm like muting the mic. They don't come back here where they can be seen. So I agree. Now these kids were born on TV, so I do think it's something they're used to.
But
while the network may kind of protect them now, they need entertainment.
No,
as they get older, who knows what it will become?
There's never been protection for anybody,
right?
So there's never even been protection for us. So
Farrah was on Kale's podcast. Yeah, and she said she felt like
Kel, love you, Kel.
Yeah, she said Farrah was I think they should offer therapy to cast members and and things like that, because just the stuff that we go through just from being on the show or whatever, it's a lot, So while the audience has watched these kids from birth, and we feel like internet ants, of course we want to know what goes on with these kids, but I do feel like I wouldn't if they went on with a show
exactly
the kids. That would be too much. Let them live their lives. Let them grow up. Let them have their privacy at this point, because once they start getting, right now everybody loves them like this, but once they get 18, 19 and they start making their mistakes, you got that whole side of the internet.
Exactly.
come and start talking crap about them, and they're going to be nitpicking everything. And
So
it's
this is what I'm scared of. When it comes to my daughter, this is what I'm scared of because of everything that I did. She's dealing with it right now, right? Now she doesn't get to have the mother that my son is having today because she didn't get to have that. I'm afraid that she's going to end up doing something further on in the future if she's on television and the same thing is going to be a reaction. People are going to hate. I don't believe that she needs to go through that anymore.
Yeah. Well, what do you
Guys, listen, the Christina thing doesn't bother me at all. I think Christina is a great mom. Stop with that, guys. Leah's 16, y'all. Chill out.
I would feel like, if anything, and this is me personally, with anything, my kids had a stepmom who was good to them, and I loved that she was so good to them.
Right.
She was so great to them, and it made me feel so much better when they were with their dad. I was like, praise God for her name was Amber.
Absolutely.
My kid's stepmom's name was Amber, and I was like, I love that she loved my kids so much. And I was like, the more I felt like she loved my kids, the more I felt like my kids were safe with her. And I love that she was so good with them.
It's only when they cross that line of, but this is the different part. This is the only different part. When you have a crew of people writing a story, writing a letter, not you, but them writing a letter, and you're reading it and crying, are you a real person? Or is this just bullshit?
Is this something that was like done on the show? Or are you talking about something?
Yes, darling. So I have a question, Elle, for you, because you'll answer it. Mm-hmm. Elle, if you write a letter, you're gonna write it to your children, correct? If you love, if you mean, it's your words. You're not gonna have a producer or an editor or anybody else write the letter, right?
No, right? It would be for me.
Right. So why would you film that then and cry as if you wrote the letter?
So are you talking about like the text that she sent you? Do you feel like that was
no?
Okay, something
the text. I wasn't even playing with them on that text. MTV came in my home. I had not heard from Leah. I don't know how long. She had been angry at me, because of all the past things. Over 6 months at that time, I had been completely blocked. All of a sudden, MTV comes in after months I didn't even mess with them, and I get a text that says I'm like, I said I looked at all of them, and this is on. If I went and I got raw footage, you would have me cussing out everybody, telling them to get the F out of my house. Don't dare try to sit there. Come here and start ish between me and my daughter and having her text me because you guys are over there in her ear. I said, I'm done with all of you. That was the last time I filmed, babes. Last time.
You hadn't filmed in a minute. You hadn't filmed in a minute. So you feel like they knew that text was coming through and they came there to get your response.
Yep. Yeah. That's exactly what happened, because I was not even supposed to really film that day too much of anything. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, guys, magic happened and I got a text and I'm excited, right? I'm like thinking, I look at it and I was like, whoa. First of all, my daughter's 16. How would she know what happened when she was a young child all the way up till a certain age? Yes, children are groomed, but not only by parents. My child was groomed by a whole entire franchise. I will not allow, I do not care what Gary does and why he's fighting me. This is the whole reason. I'm not going to give too much, guys, because I'll get in trouble, but I'm going to say something. Certain things are happening because they want to keep fighting for my daughter to be on TV, and I do not want my daughter to be on TV. And that's all I'm going to say, Elle. There you go.
Okay. So it's like MTV is doing the group.
They're trying to do what they're doing. But listen, Gary and them, of course, yes, please, more, give me money. And I said, 100, no, I'm good, bye. No, get the hell out of here. You're not going to sell my daughter. But they will, as they are. So excuse me for talking, guys. I know you guys like Geppetto, but it's okay.
Here, listen, I don't want you to get frustrated because I want to be able to talk to you about things or whatever.
It's 12:34. I'm on my bed actually. Anyways, go ahead, Elle. This is your platform.
Yeah, I don't want you to get riled up or whatever, but because I
Mm-hmm.
talked to you about this because I've heard you say the grooming comment before, and I didn't know
Oh
who it
yes,
was in reference to. You're saying it's
all
more
of them.
MTV or Gary too?
Oh no, all of them. Every single one of them. Gary is he's notorious for telling Leah, but this is your job too. I tell you what, I'm so sick and
And
tired of.
you know for a fact he tells Leah like this is your
Uh,
job.
he does it in front of the crew. He did it in front of me. He did it on camera. I'm telling you, he did this on camera. What they're doing right now, always the victim. What are you talking about? I'm just telling facts. Like, go on somewhere with that. Anyways, these are facts, y'all. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous and insane or whatever, but you guys are saying something about victim or something like that. But I want to actually fight for my daughter not to be used to be on television. She's one of the reasons why I left the whole entire franchise. So I can't explain too much. Like I said, there's so, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Elle. Elle, I gotta go because I really can't deal with your chat. I like my people because this is not real. I'm sorry, baby, but this is not real.
Well, yeah,
Okay. If I'm speaking facts, then I'm speaking facts, and that's all I gotta say. If anybody catches me in a lie, then bring it on.
I
I
have a
love it.
question. I have a question. If they're canceling Teen Mom, you have a fear they're going to bring like a spinoff show back, and that's what you want to try to fight against.
Yeah.
Couldn't you keep her from being on it, like if you really want to, because y'all share custody?
That's okay. You just said everything. You just said everything. Okay. I can't say
You can
L,
say,
L, L. I can't say L. I can't say anything past that. You just said everything. I do not agree with certain things. Okay. Others agree with it. I'm not having it. I don't care. I don't care what they do. They can do whatever they want, go to the courts and do whatever. My child will not be on that show. There will not be a spinoff. That will not happen.
I know.
No, wait, Rhonda, I have joint custody. Calm down.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
have looked this up a million times. There is joint custody, and when I
Mm-hmm.
know something about Amber, I'll say it. But unfortunately, there's joint custody. It was like they agreed to it after she got out of prison. Sometime it was like 2 years
Yeah.
after prison. They did agree to joint custody with Gary being the domicile parent, and she pays child support. It's set up. It's set up child support. There is joint
Yeah.
custody. I don't know, and I know that because I've looked into it because I covered this. So it is.
Right.
I mean, you know. So that's why I was wondering,
People,
because, like David Eason stopped Janelle from having Inslee on. So that's why I was curious. And if
that
yeah,
story, even that story was fake. Even that story was fake.
which one? What?
Janelle, why Janelle had to go and all this stuff. Why Farrah went. All of those things that they were saying. Team guys, stop. They were talking about children. There's no teams. There's no teams. What excuses? Look, I really don't know what your people are talking about. It's kind of weird, and I think I should probably get off here. But darling, but honey, you just said everything about the adoption thing, and you can just think about that one. You're smart, obviously. Just think about it. I don't agree with it. I left for a reason. I have to be quiet. And when I said I got hush money, honey, I got hush money. So if anybody wants to come say something to me, and all these girls that keep going like this on the show, and I'm trying to tell them, listen, please listen to me before you are broke. You are, you have, I mean, who knows, right? Honestly, come on, who knows? And they're not. They don't believe me. They don't care. They don't believe it. And I don't know what else I can do for them. So, all I can do is watch this go the way it's going right now and literally just sit back and stay home, stay in my comfort zone, and completely let things go.
Yeah.
I just have to let things move the way that they're going to move. I've already said what I needed to say, but nobody believes it. So I'll just let it actually happen, and then we'll go on from there. So,
Okay. I have a question. Since
okay.
the show is canceled and you weren't going to go back anyway. So
Well,
what's
I'm
your
not going to say
plans
the
like?
show is canceled. I'm not going to say the show is canceled, but I wasn't going back anyways. Yes, you're exactly right. I was already gone. I was already gone months before.
So
Yeah.
what are your plans like? You were live the other day and you were talking about moving, but I never heard what you were moving.
Yes. I did because I feel like, so what I said was, and I really do feel this way now since I've been gone, like not filming and stuff. It was kind of funny because it came out of nowhere, but I feel like my ego is not as big as my house anymore.
Oh,
Oh, baby, no. Oh, honey, I did not get fired. I promise. No,
okay. Do
no.
you? Because I saw some people saying, "Well, she quit before she
Hell.
was going to get fired."
Yeah, I never got fired. What is this fired? I never even got like, no, babies. That was nothing even was even true about. I don't even know what that
Have
is.
you ever had any fear of being fired? Were you ever? Because let me tell you something.
No,
I've
never.
always been
Girl,
like,
I am, honey. When I sat on the couch at that reunion, what did Dr. Drew and Nessa say? The OG of the OGs. Did they not say that on that fucking couch?
probably so. But I've always been like,
Hell,
why
like
does
stop,
Amber?
girl.
Well, I'm like,
Like,
there's
come
been so much
on.
that's happened that they have fired people for like all kind of stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the point.
Like,
So when people say like, well, why hasn't she this, that, and the other? I'm thinking because this is not true. You guys just have to understand like certain things just happen a certain way. I can't look, I can't even speak a regular sentence because I feel like I'll start getting attacked, honestly,
well, don't
Elle.
read the chat because I just want to ask you questions.
No, not from the chat. I'll start they've already sent media people to my TikTok that I've had to block. I've already spoken to a couple of people about things. I've had these documentaries calling, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't want to be a part of that mess. I got out before
Yeah,
it.
it was
I got out before it for a reason.
because aren't they gonna start trying to like expose MTV a little bit? Like, isn't there like a what was it? It was the documentary that exposed Nickelodeon and Dan Snyder.
Yes, I got contacted by. It was a pretty big. It was a big documentary. They had just done a big. Yes, I can't say much, but yeah. So they had done a documentary, a huge documentary, and they were going to do something about Team Mom, but I said that I couldn't. What do you mean she's lying? I'm lying? This is a known thing,
Don't read the
guys.
chat. Don't read the chat. Don't read the chat. Just
But I
talk to
don't.
me.
Can I ask you a question, Elle? When you
Yes,
see those things, do you ever get bothered by that?
I try not to, but yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll get fired. When I'm live on YouTube, and because
Things
people
are
disagree with my
scripted, yeah.
opinions, yeah, I'll get fired. I
Yeah.
have to go back and edit out where I went on a tangent at somebody. If they call my
Hmm.
parenting into questioning, that's usually when I'll lose my, you know,
Right. Right.
I have to really
I'm
try.
not, guys, I'm everything but delusional, darlings. I know way too much, and I have,
How do y'all
look,
deal with
guys,
this stuff?
it's, I don't deal with it. That's why I'm trying not to look at it. This is why I'm subscribe only. This is the
Yeah,
only reason why. And
yeah,
I hate that I have to do that, but it wasn't before for months, and then I had to because of a certain reason.
yeah.
So, look, guys, if you don't believe me, that's fine. If you think I'm delusional, it's okay. But what I'm telling you is the truth. I knew this months before. I'm. This is all it is. But Elle, it was so nice seeing you, darling. You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate you hopping on. Can I ask you what is your plans like? Do you have
Oh,
moving forward since you're not
oh,
going to?
absolutely. Oh,
Okay.
girl, yes.
Can
So
you
my
tell
number
us?
one thing, I can, of course. My number one thing right now is I feel like I want to go back into real estate.
Okay.
And I've already made a couple moves, so I'm feeling pretty good. And it's been
You're gonna start
for
flipping
me.
houses again?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
I
remember
have
you did that
to.
before.
Yes, yes. So I just have a couple things that need to be paid off, and I'll be able to do it again, and then I'm good. So
Are you
that's where
moving? Are you moving?
I
Or
want to. Yes, I want to downsize so bad. I really do. I do not need a three-story, 4,000 square foot home. That's ridiculous.
that's what I need.
I
Now your house is that
No,
big?
no, guys, you don't know. You really.
I got 6 kids. I need a bigger house.
Okay, well then, girl, come get this one then. Okay, I'm telling you right now.
This will be my husband's
It's nice. I promise. I put 90 in it, a year ago. Anyway, so
Well,
I feel like I wanna downsize to like a really nice, I don't know, condo penthouse. I don't know.
okay,
Something like
the
that.
Airbnb that you were renting before. Why
The
was
what?
the Airbnb that you rented right after everything happened a couple of years ago?
Oh yes, yes. When I gave the house to Andrew and my yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
That Airbnb, somebody said this the other day, and I don't know if this is true, and I don't remember this, but somebody said, oh, that was Gary's that she was renting. And I'm like,
Oh my Jesus Lord!
was
I've
it?
never rented anything from Gary, and that's the
Okay.
weirdest thing.
I was
Girl,
like,
I
I
heard
don't
that back
remember.
in the day. I heard that back in the day when it was happening. I was like, why would I rent from my ex? He wanted me to live on his land,
I,
which
I,
was absolutely insane.
I see. I felt differently. My opinion was different then. I'll tell you how I felt about it.
She's renting. Who's renting? I own my home,
Remember that? I
darling.
remember that episode. Okay.
You remember it, girl? That was crazy to me. I'm telling you. I was like,
See,
oh my gosh, not.
I had this. I was
Hi,
like,
sweeties.
now I'll tell you why. On the show, in the past few episodes, we had seen like Gary take you to therapy. On this particular episode, he had brought you your meds, and he was like, I've been doing a lot. We've been doing a lot for Amber lately. Like I brought her meds today. I took her to therapy the other day. It would be easier
For
for
TV.
everyone.
But this is the thing. This is the scariest part about this, guys. Everything that was ever done was to be relevant for a story for TV.
So like,
And it was not to be better. I'm sorry. It was not to be better, guys. Look, I know, listen, this man is a good man. I'm not saying that he's this horrible man today. I'm not saying he's the same person he was all the way
Like
back
you
and then
said that.
whatever. It's the fact that there's just some things right now that just should not be happening, and I don't agree with how he's moving about it. And that's just it. That's all it is.
Can we
But I
say?
have nothing.
Can I say that like, parents? Sometimes that's what it is, and it sucks. Like
I see my son a lot, darling.
my dad didn't always agree with what my mom did in regards to us. My mom didn't always do what my dad, like they didn't agree at times with how. If my mom let us do this, my dad would have an issue with it.
Right.
We're on TV, on social media, so man. Unfortunately, though, Leah is involved in this, and then when somebody
Yeah.
gets mad and says something, she's gonna hear it, and it's
Yeah.
just scary. Because back in the
It's
day, my mama griping about my dad wasn't public, so we couldn't go back and see it. We couldn't go back and see my parents fighting when I was a baby, and I'm sitting in the room and they're fighting.
right.
I
Right.
didn't remember it. I couldn't see it back on TikTok.
She is smart.
She can see all this stuff,
Absolutely.
and that's
Which is why it makes me want to be more vocal to these girls and just really, I don't want any of these girls speaking to my daughter. They have no right to speak to my daughter. Okay? They need to take care of their kids and
like
just
Mason
hush their
said.
mouths.
Are-
Every single one of them need to mind their business.
Mason
I
said-
listen. The things that I know would screw this whole entire thing up. MTV knows that. Okay?
You feel like they
Everyone
should
needs to
get
calm
that
down.
up, like personally, like
I don't know who the
That
fuck
was
keeps
like-
laughing at me, but you need to calm down.
don't pay no attention to it. Don't pay no attention to it. Do you feel like they
Fucking
should
with no, I'm not manic right now. Are you making fun of people who are manic depressive, bipolar disorder? Is that what you're doing?
Jack, calm down, because I don't.
Good job, guys. Good job. Good chat. Good chat.
I want to talk to Amber, you guys. So everybody, calm down.
Good job. You guys are beautiful. Look how sweet you are. Deflection, really? Me? Deflection? No.
I just want to ask you questions.
Yeah, I'm good. Actually, Elle, I think I'm gonna go because I'm good on this, actually. I'm good on this stuff right here. But anyways, girl, do your thing. I told the truth. And you guys can just watch it happen. Bye.
Bye, Amber.
Bye, sweetheart. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
I was trying to ask her some questions. And nobody's enabling her, y'all. I couldn't get to the point of asking her questions. Like when she talked about not wanting to move on the property, I was literally trying to say, like, let me tell you why I would have done that. Like, I would have done that. And this is why. I was literally going to try to get to yes. And then when she said that was all for show, I was going to ask her, so did Gary only like do these things when it was film time? Like, did he not help you out when y'all weren't filming? It is what it is. I've always said though that if I could get Amber on, like I would like to ask her questions, but I couldn't because she kept reading the chat. And listen, if she's lying, let her lie. I just wanted to try to ask her questions. No, I wasn't going to bring her up on here to then be like, you're sorry this, you're sorry that. I wanted to stay calm, ask her questions. You know, like Oprah, when she has someone that's murdered somebody on. I just want to ask them questions.
Okay, I've never.
It is what it is.
I've never experienced
that. Sucks. Maybe do a pre-recorded video. That would be a good idea. If she would be up for it, I could do a pre-recorded video, because when she brought that up about can we unmute everybody that we muted, I think my moderators was trying to keep the comments down because we weren't trying to get her triggered to leave. Yeah, we wanted her to stay so I could try to talk to her about questions.
That
it is what it is. I want to know how much hush money. Yeah, I didn't know the truth about something. I didn't know the truth about if the show was canceled, or I would have said it. Like, if I knew the show was canceled, I would tell y'all. Like, hey, heard the show was canceled. I had so many things like running through my head. Like, I got to get to this point to ask her. You know what? Because at one point she said, you know, when we brought up Christina, I said, you know, my kids had a stepmom that was great and they loved it, and I love that. And she was like, she said something nice about Christina. She also said something nice about Gary. She did make the pedo comment at first, and I wanted to circle back to that because I had questions and I have opinions, you know. So I was trying, she just kept reading the chat and I couldn't keep her back focused here to where I could just question her and ask her these things. But
that was
she did say he was a great guy. Yeah, that's why I was like, when she said he was a great guy, I'm like, I'm glad you said that.
That was a big. I did not expect that to just go whoop, like we were gonna do that tonight. Okay.
But there was an affair. We don't know. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Bye.
Hey, everyone.